What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this video, I want to talk about a new rumor on Resident Evil 0 as well as Resident Evil Code Veronica. These are two games we've talked about before, and I really hope the rumors that they're being remade are true. This is going off of that, so it's like if you don't believe that rumor, these might not interest you, right? And it's probably from the same guy, right? From Dusk Golem. We've talked about this guy quite a bit on the channel. I feel he's pretty right in his lane when it comes to Resident Evil, even Silent Hill. The guy gets more right than he does wrong. When it comes to other things, sometimes it's more 50-50, but I tend to believe him. And, you know, again, I'm willing to just discuss this. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I think specifically Code Veronica should get remade. In terms of what should be the next Resident Evil game that gets a remake, it should either be Code Veronica or 5, as far as I'm concerned, right? So, again, he's talked about that these games are real, that we are getting remakes for Code Veronica in 0. So, he posted this, I believe this was on Discord a few days ago. A few things happened, not all of it I want to spill yet, but remake-wise, to my knowledge, right now, Resident Evil 0 and Code Veronica are the only RE remakes actively in development. They were chosen for a number of reasons. Of course, RE9 is also in development, among other things. Capcom doesn't really plan for there to be a remake as ambitious as RE4. In many ways, that was the crown jewel of remakes and the most challenging one to tackle in scale, scope, and expectation. And that's all we got, right? So it's more about, I guess, again, it's following that these games are going to get remade. It's more about the scale of them, that they wouldn't be done to the lengths of RE4. And honestly, I mean, part of that's almost kind of obvious, right? Because like RE4 oftentimes looked at as one of, if not the best RE games, right? And a mainline game, like, I don't know, I don't mean any disrespect. I actually really, really like Code Veronica, right? So I'm not saying, like, these games are, like, subpar or anything, but when you think of, like, the mainline Resident Evil games, 4 gets a lot of attention, and you know that if you're going to remake 4, all eyes are on you, and, you got to go for it. What's funny to me is Resident Evil is kind of home to some of the best remakes done, period, right? Like RE4 and I would say RE2 are some of the best remakes, especially RE2, like back in the day. Even it's only been 5 years, but it feels like so long ago. Kind of pioneered, like, oh, this is how you do a remake, right? But funny enough, then RE3 is how not to do a remake. Generally, kind of general fan, opinion on it, right? So, I guess it's something that you can say, but it's also something that you have to kind of think about when you think of future Resident Evil games, right? Because, like, they're known to be able to push it. They're known to be able to make some of the better remakes you've ever seen, but they're also known to, like, an RE3 taking away large portions and just it not feeling right to a lot of people, right? So it's like, it can really go either way. The thing is, and I don't know much about RE0, Code Veronica I'm more, in tune with, there are things about these games, because they're not perfect games, right? There are things you could actually, like, skim on. So if they wanted to pull an idea where they don't, and I don't know if I'm all for this, right? But if you were ever going to do it where, like, you eliminate sections of the game, you don't do that for 2. You don't do that for 4, as shown, right? But could you get away with it? If you do it in 0, if you do it in Code Veronica, if you got rid of 30 minutes here, 20 minutes here, certain areas here and there, would people flip out? There would be some. And honestly, again, like, I try to respect everybody's opinion. I really do. As long as you respect me, I respect you. I think there would be people that would be pretty mad about that. And I could actually understand that, and I would respect that kind of line of thinking, right? But, like, is that a bold strategy, right, that you would actually try to do where you don't go all the way? And is that how you do it, right? Like, when you say that you're not going to go all the way to, like, an RE4, well, what does that mean? To me, it means, like, you can't like, not do the graphics. You can't, like, not bring it up to, if you do a remake, it's got to feel newer, but, keeping the soul of the original. You can't change major moments, right? Like, the visuals have to be looking like it came out in 2025, things like that. But, like, could you eliminate some parts to it, right? So, like, is that what it means, or is that what he means when he says that? So we'll see. I mean, I'm really excited for the future of Resident Evil. I mean, it could go a variety of ways, right? Like, 9, what we've heard so far sounds exciting. Like, but it could go, it doesn't have to go well. It could go bad, but I'm excited for RE9. I'm excited for remakes of, if we're getting these 2. Honestly, and I've said this for a while, I'm excited for a remake of 5. I really liked 5. The only one I really didn't like was 6, and it's been a long time, and I think if I replayed it now with, like, a new lens, right, really try to look at it for what it's worth, for what it's doing, maybe I'll like 6 more. 6 is really the only one I could never really get behind. 5 5 I really like. So I'm up for remakes. Keep them going and keep the new games going, obviously, too. And that's what we're getting with RE9. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.